Ianchiaro, the Yellow Prophets of Springfield. It was just a cartoon until it wasn't. I remember the first time I saw it, The Simpsons, a world drenched in satire and silliness. But one night, years later, I found myself wide awake, staring at my screen in the dark, realizing something terrifying. They predicted the future. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. It wasn't coincidence. It couldn't be. How can an animated show airing since 1989 have mapped out real-world events, some trivial, others terrifying, with surgical accuracy? Could they have known something? Were they warning us? Or were they part of something bigger? That's what this story explores. Not just the predictions, but the unease, the slow realization that something once laughed off as fiction may have been truth hidden in plain sight. This isn't just about The Simpsons. It's about a disturbing pattern of prophecy cloaked in comedy. 1. The Trump Presidency, Season 11, Episode 17. It was aired in the year 2000. Lisa becomes president and casually remarks that her administration has to clean up after President Trump. Everyone laughed. 16 years later, America watched Donald J. Trump descend a golden escalator and declare his candidacy. By November 2016, he was elected president, just as the cartoon had imagined. Not just the idea, but the visuals. The escalator scene, the hand waves, the exact angle. It mirrored reality down to frame. It wasn't a joke anymore. It felt like a warning we'd ignored. 2. Smartwatches and Talking Tech, Season 6, Episode 19. In 1995, The Simpsons aired an episode featuring Lisa's fiancé using a watch to make a phone call. Today, it's a part of life. Apple Watches, Samsung Galaxy Watches, voice calls, and even health metrics on our wrists. The Simpsons showed this 20 years before it became real. It wasn't just ahead of its time. It was eerily accurate. 3. Disney buys Fox, Season 10, Episode 5. In the episode, When You Dish Upon a Star, Homer enters a studio lot marked with a sign. 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Company. It aired in 1998. In 2019, Disney completed its $71.3 billion acquisition of 21st Century Fox. What began as satire turned into a seismic shift in the entertainment industry. And once again, The Simpsons called it decades before it happened. For the Ebola outbreak, Season 9, Episode 3. In Lisa's Sacks, Marge suggests Bart read a book titled Curious George and the Ebola virus. It aired in 1997. At the time, Ebola wasn't widely known outside medical circles. Fast forward 2014, and Ebola was all over the news as it tore through West Africa, causing global panic and mass fatalities. Suddenly, a cartoon reference didn't seem so innocent. Had The Simpsons tapped into some hidden fear or knowledge? 5. The Higgs boson prediction, Season 10, Episode 2. In 1998, Homer is seen scribbling a formula on a chalkboard. Years later, physicist Simon Singh revealed that Homer's equation closely approximates the mass of the Higgs boson, also known as the God particle. This was 14 years before CERN scientists confirmed its existence in 2012. Homer Simpson, unwitting physicist? Or was the show's writing room channeling more than just comedy? 6. FaceTime and Video Chat, Season 6, Episode 19. That same 1995 episode showed Lisa talking with her mom on a futuristic screen. The concept of face-to-face video calling seemed wild. But then came Skype, Zoom, and FaceTime. In a post-pandemic world, video chat is now as common as texting. Back then, it was sci-fi. On The Simpsons, it was just another gag. Or was it? 7. Three-Eyed Fish and Environmental Disaster, Season 2, Episode 4. In 2 cars in every garage and 3 eyes on every fish, Bart catches a three-eyed fish, Blinky, near the Springfield nuclear power plant. In 2011, a real three-eyed fish was discovered in a reservoir in Argentina, right next to a nuclear facility. Fiction turned real with a dose of radioactive irony. 8. Autocorrect Failures, Season 6, Episode 8. Remember the Newton, Apple's early version of a digital assistant? In the episode Lisa on Ice, Dolph writes beat up Martin on his device, but autocorrects to eat up Martha. It's a joke, but it mirrored real frustrations with autocorrect in the early 2000s. In fact, Apple engineers reportedly cited the scene as motivation to fix autocorrect on the iPhone. Even tech giants were watching The Simpsons. 9. Nobel Prize winners. Season 22, Episode 1. In 2010, an episode showed Milhouse betting on Bengt Holmstrom to win the Nobel Prize in economics. 6 years later, Holmstrom actually won. Coincidence? That's what we keep asking. But at some point, coincidence starts feeling like a pattern. 10. Pandemic predictions? Multiple episodes. In Season 4's Marge in Chains, a virus from Asia spreads rapidly to Springfield, with panicked citizens demanding a cure. Sound familiar? When COVID-19 hit in 2020, many pointed back to this episode. The parallels were eerie: panic, misinformation, even the imagery of coughing crowds. And in another episode, they showed a future where people wore face masks and medical authorities spoke through screens. What were once satirical sketches now seemed like early echoes of reality, the pattern no one saw coming. At first, it was easy to dismiss these predictions as clever writing or dumb luck. But when the predictions kept stacking, decade after decade, people started asking deeper questions. How could a cartoon keep forecasting real-life events? Did the writers have some insider knowledge, a crystal ball, or were they tapping into something else, like cultural undercurrents that no one else noticed? Matt Groening, the creator, always brushed it off. Writers just notice things, he'd say. But not everyone believed that. The theories behind The Simpsons' foresight, collective consciousness. Some believe The Simpsons taps into a kind of cultural hive mind, a subconscious awareness of where society is heading. Writers joke, exaggerate, and somehow brush up against truth. The butterfly effect. Others suggest that The Simpsons, with its massive global influence, subtly shape reality. Tech innovators grew up watching the show. Politicians, too. What if the show planted seeds in viewers' minds that became self-fulfilling prophecies? Inside access? Conspiracy theorists whisper about insiders in government or tech feeding information to the writers. Absurd? Maybe. But stranger things have happened. Simulation theory. And then there's the wildest theory. We're living in a simulation. The Simpsons isn't predicting the future. It's following a script from the system we're trapped inside. Wild? Yes. But in a world where cartoons predict presidencies and pandemics, can anything be ruled out? Epilogue. What comes next? Now, every new episode of The Simpsons is watched through a new lens, not just as entertainment, but as possible prophecy. People scour old seasons looking for hidden warnings. In one clip, Homer stands at a voting machine that flips his vote. In another, we see a dystopian vision of America under siege. Are these just jokes? Or are we being told, shown what's coming? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The Simpsons isn't just a TV show anymore. It's a mirror, a map, maybe even a warning. And we're all just characters in its world, waiting for the next episode to come true.